Namaste. Today I'm going to read Volume 3, Book 3, SataRudra Samhita, Chapter 30. The incarnation of Shiva as Avadhuteshvara in the Shiva Puran. Vakratrumakaya Surya Koti Samavrapani Vignam Grace. Hari Om Tat Sat. Nandishvara said, O son of Brahma, listen to the first incarnation of the great Lord named Avadhuteshvara, who dispelled the arrogance of Indra. O sage, formerly Indra, accompanied by Brahaspati and the other gods, went to Kailasa in order to see Shiva. On knowing that Brahaspati and Indra were coming, and in order to test their mind in their eagerness to see him, the Lord, indulging in different kinds of sports, assumed the form of an Avadhuta. He was naked. He looked fierce and had the lustre of blazing fire. The Avadhuta, the goal of the good, blocked their way. He stood there with matted hair hanging loosely and the whole feature shining brilliantly. Passing that way towards Shiva, Brihaspati and Indra saw the gigantic figure of wonderful features on the way. Without knowing that the Purusa was Shiva himself, O sage, Indra, who was arrogant due to his authority, asked him as he stood in his way. Indra said, Who are you? Whence have you come in this form of a naked Avadhuta? What is your true name? Tell me quickly and factually. Is Shiva in his abode, or has he gone out? I am now going to see him along with my preceptor and the gods. Nandishvara said, when asked by Indra that Purusa, who was Lord Shiva himself, who had taken that body sportively in order to quell his arrogance, did not say anything. Indra asked him again, but Shiva, whose ways are unknown, who was in the naked form and who was the creator of fanciful things, did not say anything. Again Indra, the Lord of heaven and the master of the three worlds, asked him. The great yogin of great sports remained silent. Though asked by Indra again and again, thus Lord Shiva remained silent, desirous of quelling the arrogance of Indra. Then the Lord of the gods, proud of his suzerainty over the three worlds, became furious and said, rebuking the Lord, having matted hair. Indra said, O you fool, even though I am asking, you are not giving me any answer. Hence I am going to kill you with my thunderbolt. O wicked fellow, who is there to protect you? After saying this and staring at him in fury, Indra raised his thunderbolt in order to kill the naked person. On seeing Indra lifting up the thunderbolt, Shiva made his hand stunned. Then that Purusa, furious and terrible, with terrible eyes, blazing with his brilliance, as though he would burn everything. The Lord of Sachi burned within himself due to the anger resulting from the benumbed state of his hand, like a serpent whose fury had been curbed by a magical formula. On seeing the Purusa blazing thus in his own brilliance, Brihaspati knew him to be Shiva and bowed to him soon. Brihaspati, of liberal mind, kept his palms joined together and prostrated on the ground like a staff and eulogized him with devotion. Brihaspati said, O great God, Lord of the gods, favorably disposed towards those who seek refuge in you, O Lord of Gauri, be pleased. O Lord of all, obeisance be to you. Even Brahma, Vishnu, and others are all deluded by your Maya. They do not know you really. If at all they know, it is only by your blessing. Nandishvara said, after eulogizing Lord Shiva, Brahaspati made Indra fall at his feet. O dear, then the liberal-minded preceptor of the gods, Brahaspati, the intelligent one, bowed humbly and spoke thus. Brahaspati said, O great God, Lord of the distressed, please raise me up, who have fallen at your feet. Do not be furious, be kind and loving. O great God, be satisfied. Save Indra, who has sought refuge in you. Fire originating from your eyes, in the forehead, is coming out. Fire originating from your eye, in the forehead, is coming out. Nandishvara said, on hearing the words of Brahaspati, the Lord, in the form of Avaduta, the ocean of mercy, indulging in good sports, laughingly said, Avaduta said, how can I withhold the fire that has come out of my eye due to anger? How can a serpent take up a slot that has been cast off? Nandishvara said, on hearing these words of Shiva, Brahaspati, with his mind agitated due to fright, spoke again with palms joined in reverence. Brahaspati said, O Lord, devotees are always to be pitied. O Shiva, thus make your name Bhakta Vatsala true. O Lord of the gods, it behoves you to cast off this fire elsewhere. Please lift up Indra, since you are the uplifter of all devotees. Nandishvara said, thus requested by Brahaspati, Shiva, who bore the name of Bhakta Vatsala, the delighted soul, and the dispeller of the distress of those who bow down, replied. Shiva said, O preceptor of the gods, I am pleased with you. I shall grant you excellent boon. You will be famous as Jiva, because you have gifted life to Indra. I shall cast off this fire, which has come out of the eye of my forehead, and which is unbearable to the gods, so that it will not afflict Indra. Nandishvara said, after saying this, he took the wonderful fire originating from his eye in the forehead, in the hand, and cast it off into the briny sea. Then that fire originating from the eye in the forehead of Shiva and cast off into the briny sea became a boy immediately. He became the lord of Asuras, known as Jalandhara, and Sindhuputra, son of the sea. At the request of the gods, Lord Shiva slew him. After carrying out this task, Shiva, the benefactor of the worlds, in the form of Avaduta, vanished from there. The gods became happy and fearless. Brahaspati and Indra became free from terror and attained supreme happiness. After seeing the Lord, for which they had come there, Brahaspati and Indra returned to their respective abodes, joyous and contented. Thus, the incarnation of Avaduteshvara, of Lord Shiva, has been narrated by me. It yields the highest bliss and punishes the wicked. This narrative is faultless and conducive to heaven and fame. It yields worldly pleasures and salvation. It is divine, and it gives the fruits of all desires. He who listens to this or narrates this with attentive mind enjoys all pleasures and attains the goal of Shiva in the end. Footnotes. (77) According to this Purana, Shratadeva had several sons, Ikshvaku, and others, of whom Nabhaga was the ninth. Nabhaga had a son named Nabhaga had a son named Nabhaga. The latter had a son named Ambarisa. Parajita omits Shratadeva and Nabhaga and mentions Nabhaga instead of Nabhaga as the father of Ambarisa. 78. It refers to the briny ocean lying to the west of Bharata. And here ends today's reading of the Shiva Puran. Om Prabhu Prananatam Vyom Veshwanatam Jagannatanatam Sanatam Vajapatitam Vaishwanatam. Hari Om Tat Sat.